Coming up on OU Nightly, we're continuing to track the active fire danger across the state of Oklahoma and how it may impact the rest of your week.
And 2 measles cases have been reported in Oklahoma. Find out why the State Department of Health is not releasing some of the details. Plus, the trade war between the U.S. and Canada is in full swing. How it will impact your wallet. This is OU Nightly.
The National Weather Service has issued a fire weather watch for the Norman area. Thanks for watching OU Nightly. I'm Sophia Cabrera.
And I'm Emma McAndrews. Dozens of fires are currently burning across the state. We're going to head right over to OU Nightly's meteorologist Alexa Doringuez for an update on the current situation. Alexa?
Yeah, ladies, we're continuing to track the abundance of fire seen across the state of Oklahoma into Missouri and even Arkansas. Fortunately for those of us here, those fires have been contained for the most part, but they are still impacting us. We can see that there's some major fires out in Tulsa, and those are pushing some of that smoke, into our area. So be mindful of that risk. And we're still not in the clear for those of us in here in Norman. We've already seen one fire today, but that doesn't change anything for this risk that we're currently seeing. We're near that critical risk for today, and that's just going to increase as we head into Friday.
Thanks, Alexa. As we continue to monitor the fire danger threat here in Oklahoma, it's important to keep in mind what not to do in dry and high wind conditions. Oklahoma Forestry Services says, like any other day, use common sense and do not do things that can start a fire. So here are some things to keep in mind for the next few days. Don't let chains drag off your car or trailer. Keep them off the ground. Don't throw your cigarette butts out in the grass. Dispose of them properly. Don't idle your car in lawn grass, and don't start a campfire of any sort. Norman Fire Department is planning for the days ahead.
The problem with this type of weather, though, as you've seen on the news, whenever you're talking about 50-mile-an-hour gusts, you're not talking about a fire traveling a few feet every minute. You're talking about seconds. So our response, we're very serious about it, watching, taking every call very seriously and responding quickly.
The fire department says if you see a fire or accidentally start one, do not waste time. Call 911.
And new information on 2 reported measles cases here in Oklahoma. Those cases still considered probable. The Oklahoma State Department of Health says the cases are consistent with the standard definition of measles, but they still lack a confirmed test, and the OSDH does not have ties to an actual lab-confirmed case. The OSDH added that individuals are not a public health threat and are taking all the right precautions. So they have opted to not share some specific details on the age or location of these individuals.
And after a chemical spill at the OU Duck Pond, a local nonprofit is assisting with cleanup efforts. OU Nightly's Landon Thomas has the story.
WildCare Oklahoma staff and volunteers responded over the weekend to an environmental contaminant at the OU Duck Pond.
So we got a call about a week ago from a rescuer who said that there had been ducks out there. They've been visiting the pond for years now, and they said that they had able to capture 2 that were covered in an oil of an unknown substance.
And what was found in the pond was confirmed by the DEQ to be diesel fuel, and community member Leah Lackner tells about how this may have happened.
That it was a spill that happened like on someone's personal property, and then that's how it leaked into the creek, and then that's how it ended up in the duck pond.
Now Wildlife Oklahoma appreciates the concern from their citizens. Staff member Paul Racinko says the best way to take care of these animals is by taking care of the environment itself.
Do your best to limit your impact on the environment, whether that be, in this case, an oil spill. Follow all the proper precautions. I mean, things like this happen. I'm glad it was reported.
WildCare Oklahoma also recommends for any other animals in need to go ahead and bring them down here in Slaughtersville. Reporting for OU Nightly, I'm Landon Thomas.
If you'd like to support WildCare Oklahoma, you can donate at their website, wildcareoklahoma.org.
Next, the Department of Education says it's cutting over half of its employees as the Trump administration looks to eliminate the department. OU Nightly's Taryn Ward has that in the rest of today's national headlines from the News Center.
Emma, about 1,300 employees are expected to be laid off in the next 90 days. The president says these cuts are working towards his administration's goals of eventually ending the federal agency altogether.
We want education to be moved back where the states run education, where the parents of the children will be running education, where governors that are doing a very good job will be running education.
Senior officials in the department say the layoffs will not impact federal student aid. Meanwhile, the Education Department's employees are working virtually today and tomorrow for, quote, security reasons. President Trump's 25% tariff on all steel and aluminum imported into the U.S. takes effect today. In response, the European Union and Canada issued their own taxes on U.S. products, which could raise the cost of American-made meat, bourbon, and motorcycles in Europe. Under President Trump's steel tariff, experts say Americans could pay more for cars, appliances, and medical devices. The president says his plan is aimed at helping the U.S. economy. And today, a judge ruled pro-Palestinian activist Mahmoud Khalil will remain in an ICE detention center. Khalil was arrested over the weekend for leading protests against the Israel-Hamas war at Columbia University last year. Protesters across the U.S. have shown their support of Khalil, who could face deportation. The Trump administration says it's revoking Khalil's green card. However, the administration has not said that Khalil has been charged with a crime. Sophia, Emma.
Thanks, Taryn. The Pentagon is cutting out all talks of plans with a certain hot topic. See what Pentagon officials have to say about this decision coming up.
And the Oklahoma Blood Institute is back on campus. Hear how you can help change lives when we come back.
Even the mighty might not see it coming. It's prediabetes, and it captures 1 in 3 adults. But you can escape. Take the 1-minute prediabetes risk test to know where you stand and prevent or delay type 2 diabetes. Be your own hero on smartphones everywhere at doihaveprediabetes.org.
I don't remember how it started.
Go to that.
Our back and forth. It always came back.
Dad!
You probably don't remember what you told me.
That was perfect.
But I heard every word.
I don't think that many kids in my son's school even do it.
He makes fun of his friend who vapes.
He would never try it.
She's into soccer.
She's on the honor roll.
She's just not the type.
No way.
No way.
No way.
No way, my kid would never vape.
Get your head out of the cloud. Today, nearly 8,000 kids will start vaping. Maybe even yours. Learn about the dangers at talkaboutvaping.org.
People living in Terrellton in the eastern part of the state are now allowed to return to their homes after a grass fire spread quickly on Tuesday. Multiple fire departments helped knock down that fire. The Pawnee County Sheriff's Office says homes were evacuated after flames jumped fire tracks. At last check, no injuries or damage have been reported.
The U.S. Department of Defense announces it's dropping all communication initiatives related to climate change. In a memo sent this week, the department says the funding will cut what it calls unnecessary spending. Critics warn this could put the U.S. operations at risk. The Trump administration says it's also planning to roll back major climate policies like rules targeting pollution. A new study finds the U.S. butterfly population is rapidly dropping. Researchers say contributing factors towards a decline include the use of insecticides, climate change, and habitat loss. Since 2000, the number of butterflies throughout the United States has dropped about 22%. The study also found just monarchs alone are at an all-time low, with there being less than 10,000 compared to a population of over 1 million in 1997. And in other news, Nauru, an 8-square-mile island country in the Southwest Pacific Ocean, is selling citizenship for $105,000 to save itself from rising seas.
Thanks, Cole. If you've donated blood before or are a first-timer, it is now your chance to help save lives. This week, OU students and staff members can donate blood at the Armory. If you plan to go on Friday, the location will be at 1524 Asp Avenue. OBI staff say donating can change someone's life.
A difference in someone else's life. So donating at a blood drive versus anywhere else, this is going directly into a patient. You're helping someone in the long run who's actually needing it. You're not getting paid for it. This is doing something out of the goodness of your heart as a volunteer wanting to make a difference.
Walk-ins are available, but if you would like to make an appointment, use the QR code on your screen now.
And coming up, we've got an exclusive look at an OU student who came home with some new bling and a royal title.
Meet the pageant queen who wears the crown after the break.
We've already got active fires across the state, and I'll tell you more when you can expect an increase in fire danger and why, coming up.
Love the hustle, Cliff. Who are you?
Your lungs.
We're quite proud of you.
Even though you quit smoking years ago, you may be at risk for lung cancer.
Okay. Well, with the routine screening, you can detect it early when it's more curable.
Sounds good, guys. Can I get a little space here?
Biologically, no.
Okay.
Listen to your lungs. Get a routine screening that could save your life. Talk to your doctor and learn more at savedbythescan.org.
When I was growing up, my mom was extremely tidy. We were trained to put things back where we got them from. One day, when I walked into my mom's house, I felt like I walked to someone else's house. There was stuff everywhere. And just growing up the way I grew up and to see this transition was very alarming.
When Sean talked to me, it was a wake-up call, and that's when I went to the doctor.
Oh, right. Look at you taking the stairs. Who are you?
We're your lungs.
We are proud of you for quitting smoking, but you still may be at risk for lung cancer.
A routine cancer scan can detect it early when it's more curable.
Good to know. Well, I gotta go somewhere.
So do we.
Listen to your lungs. Get a routine screening that could save your life. Talk to your doctor and learn more at savedbythescan.org.
Welcome back to OU Nightly. We're currently continuing to track the active fire danger across the entire state of Oklahoma, extending into Missouri and Arkansas as well. Fortunately for those of us here, a lot of those fires have already been contained. Those in the Cleveland County area, we can see there was a minor fire earlier today, but luckily that's pretty much been contained and nearly put out. But we're still there's still a threat for that smoke that's coming off across. We can see Tulsa. That's where a lot of those major fires are, and a lot of those smoke plumes are just pushing out west, and that's going to be a similar case over the next couple of days. There is a chance for maybe those of us here aren't being personally impacted by fire itself, but your upper respiratory could be getting impacted by that smoke. And also the danger is going to continue as we head into tonight and to this evening. There's that critical risk, or elevated risk, excuse me, for most of the state, including those of us here in Norman. And that's really just going to continue as we head into the rest of the week. We can see, like I said, we're in that elevated risk today. It's going to calm down just a little bit Thursday, but Friday, if you're going to be weather aware, please choose that day to be so. That is an extreme risk for fire, and that means you need to have your alerts on your phone because a fire can pop up at any time, and this is going to be for mostly across the entirety of the state. Luckily, that will calm down just a little bit as we head into Saturday and Sunday, but then that's just going to pick right back up as we head into Monday. Along with that, we're going to be seeing some really strong wind gusts currently in Norman, as we head into this evening, 9 degrees. So they're going to drop a little bit as we head into this evening and Thursday, and they're kind of just going to go up and forth, back and down in the teens and low 20s as we get to Friday. That's when we see this extreme jump, 41-mile-per-hour wind gusts, and that's just in the early morning on Friday. That's going to increase, possibly seeing winds up to 60 miles per hour, and you can see that's where that bomb cyclone comes in. And kind of what is the bomb cyclone that's playing a role in the fire weather that we're seeing? So it's essentially a very intense and rapidly growing low pressure system that has drastic decreases in pressure, and associated with that you have some cooler air to the left and warmer air to the right. So this warmer air over here is going to be fueling those more so thunderstorms and severe weather. By up to our northwest, we're going to be seeing a lot of those blizzards and wintry conditions. Along with that too, we're going to be seeing a lot of dry air supporting below the low, but down to our southwest, that's where that moisture is, and especially to our northwest as well, we're going to be seeing that moist air as well. And like I said, that's going to play a role in the severe weather. We're going to be seeing the fire danger here in Norman and those blizzard-like conditions to our northwest. Coming up, those temperatures are going to decrease as we head into the rest of our week. Friday, we're going to cool down just a little bit. Saturday, be a lot cooler, but start to pick up as we head into Monday.
Well, I know I've been keeping my eye on the weather in Panama City Beach because that's where I will be spending spring break here in the next week.
Me as well. I'll be in Nashville, but my dog will be here with my friend as he's babysitting him, so hopefully they'll stay away from some of this nasty weather we might have.
Yeah, you should be in the clear for the next couple of days next week into spring break, but just keep mindful of those conditions the next few days here.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Alexa. Oklahoma crowned 2 new representatives Sunday, Miss Oklahoma USA and Miss Oklahoma Teen USA. One of those ladies taking the stage represented Norman and the Sooner Crimson and Cream. OU Nightly's Olivia Hayes sat down with her for an exclusive interview.
I'm here with our new Miss Oklahoma Teen USA and OU student, Ruthie Ritchie. Ruthie, how are you doing today?
I'm great. How are you, Olivia?
I'm doing good. So how are you feeling in this moment? I mean, being crowned is pretty surreal.
So even just representing Norman was absolutely insane and such an incredible experience because I was able to just interact with the community more and get to know people here, which was absolutely awesome. And then representing that at the state level was truly incredible just because I felt all the love and support that the people I've met here have given me. And now knowing that I'm representing Oklahoma is just, I can't even fathom it, honestly.
And so what does the next year look like, whether that is in your reign or also just as a student here on campus?
So I'm definitely going to try and ease up on my workload for this next semester coming up. Academics and my education has always been a priority for me, and I want to make sure I excel in that while balancing the duties I have with the Crown and just being a regular girl at the end of the day. So basically just figuring that out with scheduling and my education, but then also for the year, my initiative and my passion is for food insecurity. So I really want to raise awareness for that and help educate students on that in the Oklahoma community and really making sure that's a forefront of what I'm doing as a title holder this year.
All right, thank you so much, Ruthie. From the OU Nightly News Studio, I'm Olivia Hayes with Ruthie Ritchie.
One Oklahoma basketball team will see how lucky they are in a clash with the reigning champs.
While one OU team looks to stay atop the throne of their sport.
And the big dance is almost here, and one basketball team is fighting for an invite. Plus, how much does a new starting quarterback cost? We'll tell you how much OU reportedly paid for John Mateer next in sports.
Multiple studies have shown that marijuana can slow both driver reaction and response time, which can be really dangerous. He's here. He's here. Wait. What? I can't drive. What? My. Oh.
Jason, let's go see your room.
That's not right. How was it? Is it good?
Even the mighty might not see it coming. It's prediabetes, and it captures 1 in 3 adults. But you can escape. Take the 1-minute prediabetes risk test to know where you stand and prevent or delay type 2 diabetes. Be your own hero on smartphones everywhere at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Hello, I'm Oliver Schaefer, and it's time for sports. Will the Sooners play their final note in Music City? As ESPN's Joe Lunardi projects that Oklahoma's odds of making the NCAA tournament would improve to 90% with a win tonight against Georgia. After losing by 10 in Athens in January, the Sooners, who haven't been to the big dance in 4 years, now find themselves on the bubble in nearly the exact same spot the team was last year. Mosier thinks the Sooners deserve to punch their ticket to the big dance.
We want to play better basketball to win games to get in the NCAA tournament. And you look at this 5-game stretch, we're 3-2, and the 2 losses are against ranked teams right at the buzzer. You know, so we've played really good basketball. We're playing together, we're playing tough, we're believing, and I think that's what you want. You want to be playing your best basketball in February and March. We still got a path. We're still getting better. We're right there.
A report from On3 revealed that Washington State transfer QB John Mateer's NIL deal sits, quote, around the $3 million mark. But Mateer says it was more than money that brought him to the Sooner State.
It's all pretty surreal. I mean, I'm a quarterback Oklahoma Sooners, you know, it's wild. But I'm here and I feel blessed to do it. And I mean, it goes back to like the expectations and the pressure. I think it's just a privilege and an opportunity to be here and work as hard as I can with all the resources I have and the great teammates I have around me to just put my best performance on the field.
Number 12, Oklahoma baseball welcomes in Louisiana Tech in for a midweek matchup. The Sooners, who have dropped just 1 game in 15 tries, look to keep their hot streak going into the Bulldogs, coming off a sweep of Sam Houston State at home. Keeping it on the diamond, Patty Gasso's girls hit the road to take on Tulsa. This is their first time leaving Norman in 12 games and marks their first midweek game of the season. Swinging in off a series sweep of South Carolina, the number 1 ranked Sooners show no signs of stopping as they sit at 22-0. The Thunder will have quite the task at hand as they look to swipe a pot of gold in Boston at the Garden. Jason Tatum and the Celtics come in hot, fresh off a win against the Jazz in a 5-game win streak. Without Celtics star center Kristaps Porzingis, the Thunder look to avenge the loss against the Nuggets. But OKC will be without all-star Jalen Williams, who is out with a hip strain. Emma, Sophia?
Thanks, Oliver. Now, can you run a mile and sip a beer at the same time? Well, a Norman event is putting that to the test.
You can mix miles with beer and a little bit of St. Patrick's Day fun. We've got the details on a shamrocking good time coming up next.
I don't remember how it started.
Go to that.
Our back and forth. It always came back.
Dad!
You probably don't remember what you told me,
That was perfect.
but I heard every word.
I don't think that many kids in my son's school even do it.
He makes fun of his friend who vapes.
He would never try it.
She's into soccer.
She's on the honor roll.
She's just not the type.
No way.
No way.
No way.
No way, my kid would never vape.
Get your head out of the cloud. Today, nearly 8,000 kids will start vaping. Maybe even yours. Learn about the dangers at talkaboutvaping.org.
At the OU Nightly Update Desk, the Grady County Sheriff's Office is asking for the public's help finding a missing man. The Sheriff's Office says this man, Keegan Doak, was last seen walking from his house in the Amber area on Friday. He was last wearing white tennis shoes, blue jeans, and a dark green hoodie with white writing. Authorities have not released further details on Doak's disappearance. If you see Doak, call the Grady County Sheriff's Office. Sophia, Emma.
Thanks, Nikki. Dust off your green attire and get ready to hit the trails. This Saturday, Norman Parks and Rec is hosting their annual Shamrock Off-Road 5K and Fun Run at Ruby Grant Park for runners and pups of all ages.
That's right. Anyone 21 and up can participate in the 1 mile beer run, which includes a beer at the start, every quarter mile, and end of the run. The fun kicks off at 1 p.m. and all details can be found in the events tab at visitnorman.com. Now, I am not a runner. I barely walk anywhere, so I will not be participating in this event.
I am like you. I'm not a runner either, but I will be going to the beer mile. I think it'll be fun. I can walk my dog.
Yeah, I think I'm just going to stay at home and play MLB The Show all day. That's all I got planned.
Well, I'll be at home, but for those of you in Norman, things are looking a little bit better for Saturday. It's going to be much cooler, sitting at about 57 degrees, so cooler than those temperatures that we've seen the last few days here, but luckily that fire danger will decrease for Saturday.
Well, thank you, Alexa, and thank you for watching OU Nightly. I'm Sophia Cabrera.
And I'm Emma McAndrews. Be sure to watch OU Nightly live weekdays at 4:30. Good night.
Love the hustle, Cliff. Who are you?
Your lungs.
We're quite proud of you.
Even though you quit smoking years ago.